Brady, when it's all said and done, is going to be 1 or 2 statistically in every category. Okay.
So LeBron. So are you.
Touche.
That's fair. But if we're going to talk about sheer dominance, right? Sheer dominance in his sport. Tom Brady dominated at, like, I'm going to piggyback off you, Ray, at the toughest position in the sport. So what you're then saying is, you know what? All this going back and forth made me lose my argument, Mike.
All right, so I'm going to jump in.
That's how you cook them, Carl. That's how you cook them. That's how you cook them.
That's a deduction.
That's how you cook them.
Let me get back to you.
That's how you cook
This is
them.
why you have a teammate.
That's how you cook them.
He's tagging his teammate. Give me a
Got two. That's one out the box, Max. We took one out.
You got it, Ray. Go ahead, Ray. Hold on.
We took one out.
Mike's
We
argument.
took one out.
Mike's hit list first, yo. I never
took one out.
I mean, yo, that's like
Yeah,
a battle
Mike.
rap. He just choked. He said,
My brother. That's we took one out.
Thank you. Mike Miller comes on here and decides to go back in time 29 years to reference a Super Bowl where a defensive game plan went into the Hall of Fame. That's all good and well. Cool story, bro. But in the Patriots' history of winning championships, where was that defensive game plan when it was a shootout against the Carolina Panthers? Where was it at? Huh? Where was it at? When they played Seattle and they were on the ropes. Who brought them back? Had to score 28 points. When Seattle was doing whatever they wanted to do, where was that defensive game plan? Who brought them home? Tom Brady. Mike, can you please stop talking so I can finish?
I want to answer you.
We're gonna go. You're still
asking
talking.
me a question, bro.
Bro, I'm still talking. We go to Atlanta.
Mike.
Can you mute this guy? Because I'm gonna get annoyed.
Ask me a question,
Mike, let him finish. Mike, just let him finish. Just let him finish. Mike, just let him finish. Come on, bro. Let him finish. Stop.
You go to the Atlanta Super Bowl, 28-3. Where was that defensive game plan? Who brought them home? You look through the annals of the AFC playoffs. You want to talk about defensive game plans. Where the Patriots were in a high-scoring games, trailing, on the road, at the crib. Who brought them home? Tom Brady. I don't want to hear about a 30-year-old defensive game plan when there's too much evidence to the contrary that proves that offensively, when the Patriots needed a play, when the Patriots needed a drive, number 12, even in the Super Bowls they lost, and I've lamented this point countless times in the past, there's not one Super Bowl where a team can say, we took Brady out the equation. Matter of fact, there's no playoff exit in NFL history involving Tom Brady where you got Tom Brady out of the way. Every team had to deal with Tom Brady. There was a late drive, there was a score, and either the opposing team with that defensive game plan gave up a score, or the situation came about where something happened, it was a fluky play. But each and every playoff exit that dealt with the Patriots, you had to deal with number 12. Number 23 cannot say that. And a lot of times, LeBron, this dominant play I talk about, he laid down in the postseason. Number 12, in blue, you had to deal with it. Point out one Patriots blowout loss in the playoffs where you didn't deal with Tom Brady. We could talk about Boston in 08, LeBron laid down. We could talk about 2011 against Dallas, LeBron laid down. We could talk about 2007. There was moments in those playoffs, not 2007, 2009, LeBron laid down. Come on now.
2010 too. I had that.
Say that again, Carl.
2010. Mac, you ready? Mac, you ready?
My bad.
I mean, no,
yeah. Tell me about a game plan. That's a foolish argument. I'd rather hear from the coach. At least coach had a useful argument.
They went back to back. So, Mike, you say you have to answer for Java, then I'll jump in. They went back to back.
Where's the defensive game plan at?
Okay, so how many times in those 6 championships were the Patriots top 5 in defense? How many times?
Where was the defensive game plan?
I asked you a simple question.
Answer my question. Don't answer my question.
Okay, he don't know. The answer is 3. The answer is 3. He don't know. The answer is 3. So the answer is 3.
Here, Mike.
So that's their defense. So the answer is 3. All right.
It was
so he asked me what.
You don't even have to answer the question. Right? You cut me off all those times to ask the question.
Carl, they don't know when I set the trap. They walked in.
Get out of here.
They walked in. I set the trap. I do research, man. I do research.
Okay. Let's bring it back. Okay.
Talk to him, Mac. I gotta talk to you. I set the trap, man. Look at him emotional. Look.
I'm talking about Super Bowls. He's talking about rankings in the regular season.
Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead.
Super Bowl games.
Okay, so let's Mike go.
Because he set a trap about
I
one
do this
game.
to him. I do this. Yo, Carl, you know I do this, baby.
Games,
you know
and
this.
he talks about the regular season. You suck. Go ahead, Coach.
I do this to him.
Coach,
I do it to him, man.
Coach, go ahead. Mike.
Look, he gonna go cry in the car.
Oh my God. Guys, time out on the field.
Coach.
Time out on the court, time out on the field. Coach, go ahead, Coach. Coach, you had a point.
I mean, Ray asked me a question, and I could find a couple of them, but just off the top of my head, I can't research it. But I mean, I remember Tom Brady getting destroyed by the Ravens defense in I think like the 2000 playoffs. He got. I mean, it's just it's worse than. Wait.
Was the game a blowout, Coach? Coach, was the game a blowout?
Hold on, Ray.
That's what I said. They still had to deal with well.
So Ray,
I'm sorry.
sorry, Ray.
Right.
Let me finish.
When was LeBron was losing close games in the playoffs? It's not like everybody routed LeBron every time he lost. Come on, this guy was going into over. Not every time. Not every time. Well, hold on.
It's a lie.
Not every playoff loss.
08 Boston, he was averaging 40.
Come on. Wait, hold on. Let me
He was averaging 30 against Boston in 08.
Tom Brady's performance against the Baltimore Ravens that season was worse in my comparison to what LeBron did against the Mavericks in that finals playoff. He had 154 yards, 4 turnovers. 4 turnovers from a quarterback is like if I can't even. It's 4 air ball free throws. You know what I mean? Like for Tom Brady. So I mean, there's more. There's at least 6 or 7 instances that I could find if I really looked at it. With Tom Brady, he wet the bed too in the playoffs. That's gonna happen. But
yeah,
let me get back.
Wet the bed. But late in the game, his team was in position to win because he made a play, which was my point.
Against the Giants, when the Giants won off the head tap.
He had just let his team down to score. We were down 14-10, bro.
Didn't he have like a minute and 13 to work some magic?
And what did he going 90 yards with no timeouts under pressure?
Yo,
that's not realistic, bro.
That's playing against
what are we doing here? I'm not no Shrek, bro. I know what I'm talking about.
No, that's coming back from the 1-3, the 3-1 Warriors. You got to do some impossible stuff sometimes.
That's crazy.
LeBron James just had his back.
That's a good example. That's a good example.
For that one, how many does Brady have though? For that one, how many does Brady have?
You know when this argument is going to be even better? And this debate is a little premature, but the people needed it. It would have been better to have at the end of this season because this is the first time we get to see Brady, and you can't use it's Belichick's defense.
And what does Lewis? Greg, get him, Greg.
No,
get him, Greg.
He's
okay, Greg is back.
Now, I'm back.
Listen, Greg is tagging back in. Greg is back.
My man used Google Translate. Now he's good after Googling.
I have to Google that. Look, man. Paul seen the video of my daughter up at 3:30 in the morning. Sometimes it happens.
It's been a long night.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. No.
So, Greg, to Mike's point about Bill Belichick, right? People like to use this excuse when it comes to Tom Brady. Oh, well, he's a system quarterback. He's this and that. Brady wins because of Belichick. But then when you look at the quarterbacks who played in that same system, did not have the same amount of success as Tom Brady. I mean, and then you look at the offense now with the same Belichick system under Cam Newton, and they are middle to behind the pack in offense. Because it's not just about the system, it's about who's under center. And that dominance under center is shown when other guys get in there and they can't necessarily duplicate what Tom Brady does. And those receivers that Tom Brady turns into, all of a sudden, like Deion Branch. We ever heard from Deion Branch after Tom Brady? No. Because Tom Brady makes these guys into
Troy Brown.
Okay. So
LeBron Gaffney.
We ain't here from Mario
Caldwell.
So okay. So guys, time out. So Greg, you bring up a great question in terms of dominance. Dominance deals with making other players better, right? That's the same thing. So when you're looking at both players, do they both have lists of plays that they've made better during the season that they played with them? Is that fair?
Depends on what you think better is.
Yeah, and also before Mike starts talking about this, Mike, don't forget you're the same person that has argued that LeBron doesn't make players better.
We cannot focus on the conversation.
Yes,
we just have to find another conversation later. We can't do it. Y'all can't do it.
So back to my question. Back to my question about making other players better.
Hypocrite.
So part of dominance.
Man.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
I want to answer your question.
Go ahead.
And this is why you got to be versed in both. I think everybody, has a good idea of both sides. This is a twofold answer because I've seen LeBron James. He makes the players better, but he's also played with the better players than Brady. If you look at who LeBron has played with, He has had those teams in Miami where he's had the top players, or Anthony Davis, and he went to the championship and won. But he's also had the teams where he's had trash. I mean trash. I'm talking about, like, if I could have been on that first Cleveland Cavaliers team and spot up and hit some jump shots and played a little bit of token defense on Tony Parker if I really wanted to. So, I've never seen Brady take trash bags. Not trash.
Nah. Oh, my God. No. We're not doing this.
When he took trash.
When has he had elite outside of Randy Moss?
The best receiver Brady ever had was a back end of his prime, Randy Moss. Everything else was these run-of-the-mill, mid-round to late-round picks.
See, Greg, I'm not. Don't mistake me saying trash for a good player or above average player or an elite player. He hasn't had elite players. Brady has not had elite like LeBron has.
But again, Coach,
that kind of proves our point, though.
Coach, Jabbar Gaffney, Rishae Caldwell, Troy Brown. Who are these people? Danny Amendola. These guys are serviceable pros. And when they won games with Tom Brady delivering the football, and the one time you gave him an elite wide receiver, they went 16-0 and set all kinds of records.
Bro,
like these things happen. And then to the point about defenses, we got to start talking about the minutia of football. How often, when you have Brady under center, does his defense have to deal with a crap offense or playing with short fields because the offense can't move the ball? One hand washes the other. Tom Brady sets so many tones that this great defense doesn't have to work nearly as hard as the typical great defense with a sorry offense.
Right. Okay. So
he proved my point, Carl.
Listen. Box office. Travis has a good
box office out of here. He don't even have more picks. He don't even got more picks right than me.
Box office has a question.
Why he goes him box office?
Because that's his nickname.
Who's that?
Travis McKay. Travis. He basically has a point to your point, though, Ray. He basically says, simple point, how many Hall of Famers has Brady played with versus LeBron?
Period.
I just said that, though, but you can't make a point, Carl. Don't start screaming somebody else's points that I already made.
I'm just reading comments. I'm doing my job. I'm reading the comments.
Too much, Carl.
Oh, I'm reading the comments. Don't come for me. I'm reading the comments. I'm reading the comments as they come in. Listen, I'm reading the comments. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Listen, don't turn this back on me. No, it's not how I do.
You're supposed to be with us. You're supposed to be NBA all day.
Listen, I'm reading the comments. That's what he said in the comments.
We ain't going for that, man. Stop cherry picking comments.
Good job, Carl.
Stop cherry picking comments, man. We know better than that. Stop it.
Go ahead.
Coach.
I'm
trying to ask, if I just said that, we don't need it from the comments, because I literally just said that LeBron has played with the better players and his All-Stars and his Miami team and his Lakers team. So why we don't need to say the sky's blue?
We need you to say that, and you're gonna call that man box office.
One more with less than LeBron James and dominated more.
But Mac's point is,
what you just said. One hand wash the other.
Both hands wash the face, baby.
Yeah, because somebody here wanted to bring up defense, when in reality, the defense doesn't have to deal with the typical tropes of playing with a bad offense because they have a great quarterback consistently controlling field position.
Hit him, Mac.
Hit him,
101.
Talk to him, Mac.
Reverse it and say maybe Tom Brady has good field position because the defense plays so well that by the time they're punting the ball, they're putting Tom Brady at the 30 or 40 or sometimes the 45, a whole lot of possessions because of the defensive pressure that the Patriots are putting on them. We can reverse those arguments.
How often does Tom Brady defenses have to deal with sharing the field with a poor offense? They don't have to deal with that. The person over there saying hello, who has offered nothing to this debate, doesn't know what he's talking about. When you have a good to great offense, the defense can shine a little bit more because they don't have to deal with short fields, turnovers, and constant turnarounds. They get to rest. They get multiple opportunities with at least 60 yards of field in front of them. These are the things that a great quarterback allots solid defenses, because not every New England defense was super elite. A lot of times they got schemed to be good, or they just had long fields, or they had a lead to play with by way of the offense, by way of the quarterback. Therefore, the quarterback dominated. Thank you.